Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Farhanis Bt Roslan. Today I will present about the introduction of Asian financial crisis. So our presentation to explain or analyze about the Asian financial crisis. From that we can experience the crisis due to our Malaysian's economics nowadays. So I will explain a few things about the causes and effects of the crisis. The contents causes of Asian financial crisis are policy error, institutional weaknesses on domestic financial, and lack of credit supply. From that, the main causes is policy errors. Is the one of common factor that occur in Asian financial crisis. Next, have 6 effects of Asian financial crisis, which are countries' currency devaluation, political fallout and government reform, credit crunch and bankruptcies. In addition, decline in commodity prices, political repercussions, and loss of international investors. From the effect Asian financial crisis, which is the country's currency devaluation, the financial crisis that began in Asia actually expanded to the economies of Brazil and Russia, as well as it created a global crisis. That's all from me. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter, which is Nur Syafiqah, to explain more details about the causes of Asian financial crisis.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Syafiqah Binti Mohamed Yusof. I will present about the causes of Asian financial crisis. There are 4 causes of this crisis. The first one is policy errors. Domestic policy mistakes contribute to the emergence of external vulnerabilities and the occurrence of crisis. This is because the region's currency rate policy, which promotes significant foreign borrowing, has received widespread criticism. The second one is institutional weaknesses. The East Asia's financial crisis and economic instability are the result of institutional flaws. In this situation, government-business relation, bank-related holding, non-bank enterprises, and strong corporate leverage are all major sources of institutional fragility. During the crisis, East Asia's economic system were considered as contributing factors to Asia's glory. The third cause is domestic financial problems. There is little doubt that domestic financial and non-financial industries contribute significantly to the inflows. Its goal is to reduce business finance caused by borrowing from less expensive international markets, leading to a build-up of foreign currency obligations that are not offset by foreign currency assets. The last cause is lack of credit supply. A lack of supplies precipitated the Asian financial crisis. As a result, expanding foreign loans in East Asia has become a priority. It definitely opposed investors' effort to develop famine. As a result, most interest rate and liquidity in the domestic industry increased. As early as 1990, numerous wealthy countries utilized low interest rate in response to the crisis. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Syafiqah, thank you for the explanation. Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Athirah Bt Zamri, and I will talk about how the Asian financial crisis affected the world. When banker untied the Thai baht from the US dollar, one of the effects was that the value of currencies of other countries went down. Overall, the economies of the Indonesian rupiah, Thai baht, South Korea won, and Malaysian ringgit will be hit hard by a drop in capital inflows, more than $100 billion in the main year of the crisis. Let's go on to the second effect, which is reforms in politics and the government. Thai Prime Minister Chavalik Yongchayut and Indonesia Suharto both resigned during this time. Each Prime Minister was taking hit for his country's failing economy. Meanwhile, in Malaysia, Tun Dr. Mahadi, who had planned to step down as a Prime Minister in 1998 because he has been in office for 18 years, remained in the office despite of the crisis. As a result, investors in other parts of the world have shied away from investing in the impacted Asian countries to protect their own financial security. Finally, I would like to mention the credit crunch and bankruptcies that follow the Asian financial crisis. The severe credit crunch and high bankruptcy rates brought on by the Asian financial crisis had a significant effect on the economy, particularly in Thailand, South Korea, and Indonesia. A credit crunch occurred when banks slowed their loaning activity due to an unexpected lack of cash. Some governments have used IMF loans to cover their losses, for instance. Nonetheless, Malaysia stood out as one of the few countries to turn down the offer. Tun Dr. Mahadi has refused IMF aid on the ground that doing so would compromise Malaysia's economic independence. That's all from me. Now I will pass to Fatin Nabilah as the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum to our lecturer, Madam Najah binti Mohta. My name is Fatin Nabilah binti Hairizal from KBA 11958. I will present the remaining effects of Asian financial crisis. The part 1 is sudden declines in commodity price. Some countries that rich with resources face challenges when the countries need to limit their export earning due to plummeting drop of commodity price. Plus, Pakistan was caught in danger when United States normalized monetary policy as Pakistan external debt is denominated in dollar. The State Bank of Pakistan prepared possible increase in foreign direct investment to emerge their economics. Plus, there are initiatives created by China, which is One Belt, One Road. Asian small open economies have learned their lessons during their crisis, especially in need of building up external buffer during boom times. Subsequently, political repercussions. Most of the Asian nations faced this effect during Asian financial crisis. The government of Asian countries were messed up as there were resignation of prime minister, which occurred at Thailand and Indonesia. Lastly, Asian financial crisis has led to loss of international investors. Foreign investors less interested to invest not only in Asian but in all countries due to instability economic. This was proved by the currency devaluations and value reduction of oil. Some small oil companies were merged and acquisition by larger companies to survive during the crisis. The issue of less investors to invest became a major concern for some Asian nations when certain companies noticed significant deficiencies in their business. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum to my respected lecturer, Madam Najah. My name is Nur Syazwani binti Mahadi, and I will conclude and explain the lesson about Asian financial crisis. The Asian financial crisis was caused by the fall of the currency exchange rate and the hot money bubble. Besides, there are some ways I will explain that can keep Asian countries from facing the financial crisis. In order to assist in the process of economic stabilization throughout Asia, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) intervened and provided loans. For example, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has already pledged more than $110 billion in loans for the near terms in order to assist in stabilizing the economies of Thailand, Indonesia, and South Korea by the end of 1997. Secondly, Asian countries can avoid these kinds of currency crises by taking care of their short-term foreign currency debts, making sure their reserve will last, and handling times when a lot of short-term capital comes in quickly, and also by frequently lowering costs and boosting national income. Last but not least, a handful of valuable lessons have been learned by these Asian countries as a result of the crisis. The most important of them is the understanding that the maintaining of stable macroeconomic fundamental is an essential necessity for both economic and financial resiliency, and the fact that expanding and enhancing the scope of existing financial system is necessary to enhance the reliability of the economy itself. That's all from our group. Thank you.